Well, they don't call it March Madness for nothing. That's for sure. Sports Snippets, Dennis Sullivan. What the heck's going on, guys? Here on a late night Tuesday, was looking over some of these matchups coming up for the Sweet 16 as the tournament continues. Men's college basketball 2022 national tournament. This is awesome stuff. Before I get started, you do like the content, this particular video, you know what to do. Hit the thumbs up. Go ahead, subscribe. That would be completely awesome to my channel as well. Let's get started, guys. A lot to talk about here. It was funny because, you hear, just like any year, there's going to be some big upsets, and we know that. That's why they call it March Madness. We know that. Your bracket, for those of you, and I'm sure at least a few of you out there, many of you out there, that are watching this video, filled out a bracket. So you see a St. Peter's beat Kentucky, or you see Miami, which, by the way, yes, I have my Miami cap on, defeat not just USC, but they go ahead and beat Auburn and go to the Sweet 16. Yeah, that's gonna shake up some brackets. We know, and we know this year has certainly not been short of crazy moments and upsets. But here's a funny little thing. I'm just kind of kick off this video with. If you look at the West and the East, those brackets, they're pretty much, with the exception of St. Peter's, obviously with the giant upset over Kentucky, and then again another upset over Murray State. It's pretty much, for the most part, played out pretty much as expected. Because I'll tell you right now, the North Carolina win over Baylor, yeah, that was a great win for North Carolina. In my mind, not a huge upset. I thought North Carolina had a great chance to win that game, especially after hearing about and seeing firsthand the Baylor bench, which seemed to be thin. And when I say that, I'm simply referring to the fact that they didn't really play many guys off their bench. I was hearing six-man rotation as the season was winding down. So there were some red flags with Baylor, and North Carolina a little bit better than their record. We saw them defeat Duke on the road in Coach K's final final home game that he was coaching. That's a huge win right there. That's not easy to do. I mean, come on. So the East, you're already going to have UCLA against North Carolina. That's a great game in the Sweet 16. Purdue will take on St. Peter's. Go figure that one. I mean, obviously Purdue will be favored in that one. But then you look at the West. I mean, come on. It's the top four seeds. It's Gonzaga against Arkansas. And then it's Duke against Texas Tech. 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. You go over to the South, you got Arizona and Houston. Houston, I do not really consider that much of an upset over Illinois. Please remember, this is a Houston team returning some players. I mean, that was a Final Four team of a year ago. They play stifling defense, very athletic, play extremely hard. The only problem with Houston right now is that they're going up against arguably the most talented team in the tournament in the country in Arizona. That'll be a great game. And then you got Michigan against Villanova. Michigan, one of the 3 double-digit seeded teams that are remaining, joining Iowa State and Michigan, make that one of 4 double-digit seeded teams because Miami was a 10th seed. Michigan will take on Villanova. Michigan has a shot, guys. I picked Michigan to win the first round against Colorado. I did not pick them to defeat Tennessee. That's a nice matchup, Villanova-Michigan. You look at the Midwest. Okay, the Midwest is crazy. That, no doubt. The craziest bracket's the Midwest. Kansas, this is your chance. The time is now. The path has been paved for you to go to the Final Four. I mean, it's been a lot of upsets in that bracket. And you know what? Kansas is a really good team. They've won 2 games in this tournament. It would be disappointing, I think, if they do not go to the Final Four. They're the number 1 seed in the Midwest. You are taking on a very tough Providence team. I thought Iowa would match up with Kansas in the Sweet 16. I was wrong. Because Iowa, obviously, I mean, they lost the first round of Richmond, another huge upset. Kansas, in all likelihood, they take on Providence. In all likelihood, they will advance to the Elite Eight. Providence has looked tough in this tournament. And then the Cinderella matchup, the Battle of Cinderellas, you have 11th seed Iowa State playing 10th seed Miami. So another way to put that is either the Hurricanes or the Iowa State Cyclones. One of those two teams will advance to the Elite Eight. Let that sink in. Yes, I'm wearing my Hurricane hat. Yes, I will be cheering on the Hurricanes. However, let's put things in perspective, guys. Let's just take a brief moment. Got to put things in perspective. That win against Auburn, Miami came out super fired up. They matched the intensity of Auburn. They actually became the aggressors. It's almost like they took the aggression out of Auburn by just coming out playing super hard basketball. They were end to end. And I do have a criticism of Auburn. No one's been as positive on Auburn. I picked Auburn for the Final Four. No one has been as complimentary of Auburn as me. I said this is probably one of the best defensive teams in the entire country in the tournament. But I got to tell you guys, Auburn's shot selection, with still tons of time remaining on the clock, like 6 minutes plus on the clock, and they're taking these threes like one-on-one basketball once the ball goes past half court. We're not seeing the ball movement at all. It was just a collapse. It really was. It was an offensive collapse by Auburn, very sadly, and they just like caved in. They caved in. Now Miami created that. Give them credit. But that really wasn't like the real Auburn team in the second half. It just wasn't. They're better than that, guys. But again, Miami gets the credit. Would love to see Miami advance to the Elite Eight, but that's good. This is an Iowa State team that just beat Wisconsin, and they also defeated LSU, an SEC team with plenty of talent. So go figure, guys. I have two of my Final Four picks remaining in this tournament. I'm not sure if that is something that you're interested in finding out, but I have Duke and Arizona still alive in the tournament. I picked both of them for the Final Four. I picked Duke over Gonzaga, and I'm even feeling better about, by the way, in the Elite Eight. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead a little bit. The reason why I like Duke going to the Final Four and even feel a little bit almost better about that pick right now is because if you're a Gonzaga fan, you know what? You got a great team. Your team was the best regular season team last year, was undefeated until the final game. You lose to Baylor. But I got to tell you what, Memphis clearly outscores your bench, clearly. And these missed free throws, what's up with that? So if the Gonzaga team is going to combine the very highly talented number one seeded in the West Gonzaga is going to combine missed free throws along with their basically bench getting outplayed, for what that's worth to you, I don't think they get by Duke. They're going to even have problems getting by Arkansas, to be honest with you, if that combination continues. So let's see how it works out, guys. Auburn kind of let me down for my bracket, but the Canes got the victory, so that's kind of like a give and take there. Want to hear what you think. Want to hear, what do you think of UCLA? I mean, did they have a shot to... I mean, the highest seed right now in the East, it's going to be 4 versus 8 and 3 versus 15. Purdue's the highest seed left in the East at number 3. UCLA's got a shot here, guys, to go back to the Final Four as a 4th seed. But if Carolina plays like they did against Baylor, Carolina could prevail. North Carolina could prevail and go to the Elite Eight. That's an excellent matchup. That's an excellent matchup. So let me know what you think, guys. Leave a comment. Can't believe the Hurricanes are a win away from the Elite Eight. If you would have told me that at the beginning of the tournament, I would have told you, like, to find another sport to follow because like you don't know anything about basketball. But they proved me wrong. Did the Hurricanes? And they proved a lot of people wrong. So let's see what happens. They proved a lot of experts wrong. A lot of very talented studio, NCAA basketball studio commentators slash hosts slash ex-coaches that know a lot about the game of college basketball, I'm sure did not see this coming. So leave me a comment. Go ahead, hit the thumbs up. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.